What's going on today, guys? We're back again working on the carbs. This is going to be part 2 to the carb rebuild. This is going to be the final video. I said we were going to do 3, but that's because I thought all my parts were going to show up at different times, but they actually all showed up today. So I'm going to be installing everything, and this is going to be totally complete. This room is entirely empty, so it's a little echoey. Hopefully it's not too bad though. Over here we have all the new parts and the old parts. You can see we still have the gasket, the jet needle, and the screws, main jet from last time. The new parts are the piston spring, the needle jet, and the needle jet holder. These parts were a pain to find, but I found them eventually. So this is going to be everything I need to finish up these carbs. If you haven't seen the first video, go check it out before watching this one, because this is kind of like, you gotta watch it in order to get it. But that's your own choice. So let's go. So we've got the bowl off of this, and if you haven't seen the previous video, which I recommend you do watch, we put in this, which is the pilot jet. Over here we put in the needle jet, and over here another needle for the flow, which I can't remember the name of right now. So we're gonna start by putting in everything that needs to go in here, which is 3 parts: the main jet, the needle jet holder, and the needle jets. So here are the needle jets, which is the smaller one, and the needle jet holders, or also called the air bleed pipe, but I'm just going to call it the needle jet holder. These are the only parts that I bought used. Everything else I bought new, but because these are used, I'm just going to put them in the bowl and fill it with carb cleaner, just to make sure that these are clean. The seller said that they were cleaned already, but have a carb cleaner, I might as well clean them for myself. So I put them in the bowl and I'm just going to fill it with carb cleaner. If you are leaving your parts in here to soak in carb cleaner, you want to take out your old gasket if you plan on reusing it. Because the carb cleaner really damages the rubber. This is the old one, and I don't care about it because I'm replacing it, so I'm just going to leave it in there and fill this up with some carb cleaner. Alright, I've let the needle jet soak for a little bit, so now we're going to put them in. So the needle jet is the first thing you want to put in. Here's what it looks like. It's very small, and you want to put the end with the smaller diameter in first. So I think that's this side, so this is going to be going in, so this side's going to go in like that into the hole. So we're just going to drop this guy in there. Just like that, and yeah, it's in there. I think I made a mistake. I think it's this side that goes in. The hole is bigger, but the outer diameter is a little skinnier, I think. So I'm gonna drop this in like that, and then on top we're going to put in the needle jet holder, which I have over here, which is this longer piece. And this has a kind of like a nut type top piece, so you can use a wrench to put this in or to tighten it. Okay. Alright, I was worried it wasn't fitting right, but I just had to push it in a little bit more, and then the first thing we put in seats in, and then you can start to screw this on. And I have a adjustable wrench here that I'm using. So you can see it's in there. And we're just going to tighten it now. And you want to tighten these all the way. Alright, I've tightened it, and you should be able to see a few threads still. That's okay. That's how it looks like in the book. And if you look over here, you can see the first thing we put in sticks out a little bit through here, and that is how it should be, I think. That's how it looks like in the book. You can see, there it is. So now, the last fitting that goes on here is the main jet, which looks like this. It's very tiny. There we go. And this uses a flathead. So this goes on top of this holder right here. You can see, right into this hole. And it just screws on like that. Nice and tight. Not too hard though, you don't want to strip this. Yeah, there we go. So that's it, that's complete for one side. Every fitting's installed. Now we're just gonna put the gasket on and the bowl, and that will be done. We're gonna do the exact same thing on this side, and then we're gonna move on to the tops. So before putting on the gasket, I just cleaned out the channel all around so that it would seat in properly. While I was cleaning it, I noticed that there was like some clear dirt. Like when I scraped it, it came off and it was like this clear gel type of thing. So even if it looks like there's nothing there, just wipe it a bit with like a shop rag or a paper towel maybe. And we're gonna put one of our new gaskets on. And it fits perfectly like that, and you just want to make sure it sits in. Nice push in there. There we go. Now we're gonna have perfect seal when we put this on. And now we're going to put on 4 new screws in each corner. Here they are. Now that we're done the bottom, we can start with the top of the carburetors, which are under these black caps. Inside the tops, it's a lot simpler than the bottoms. So this is going to take a lot less time. We're going to get through this really quickly. So to get started, we got 4 screws on the top. So let's take those off quickly. I'm going to start with this side. Okay. So now you can see the inside of the top. We have the piston, which is this black rubber, or it's attached to this black rubber, and inside we have the needle holder and the needle. So, and also there's supposed to be a spring in here, which I don't have, so let me just show you. If you take this out, this is the piston. I'm not going to be changing that, but I'm going to be changing the inside bits. And here's the old needle. Take that out. And this is very important. This is plastic. You don't want to break this, so be very careful with it. This is kind of where the spring will sit on. And what the spring does is it keeps this down because air pressure is like pushing this up, and it resets it back at the bottom. So we're going to put this in, and I think there are divots on it to show that these go towards the front, towards the side being the side that goes on the air box. So I'm going to go in like that. New needle right here. It's going to go right down the center hole, and you want it to fall into the jet that we put in earlier, and it should just slide in, and it shouldn't be like super stiff when you touch it. So there we go. So now that the needle's in, we're going to be putting in this plastic holder. It goes in this way, the outward facing pieces at the bottom. So we're just going to drop it in like that. And then on top of this, we take one of our piston springs. You want to be very careful with these because they're kind of fragile and really thin. And these are just going to sit on top like that. And that's about it. That's all the pieces that go in here. And you want to take your lid and close this and make sure that the spring lines up with the hole or the little groove right here. And also you want to make sure that this rubber seals properly in the groove around the circle. If this isn't seating in properly, your piston in here is not going to work right, because this is controlled by air pressure and you don't want to have any leaks. So now we got everything in. We're going to very carefully close this up. So you're going to make sure it's sealed around, just like run your finger around it. Make sure it's in. And we're going to close it with the E-cap. Make sure that it goes into here, the spring. There we go. And then you're just going to seal up each hole. It's 4 holes. I'm going to put the screws in off camera because it seems to be having trouble. Okay, we've got 4 screws in, it's secure, everything's in, and you can check that it's okay by looking at this side. You can see the piston, you can see the new spring in there, and when you pull this up, you should hear the air compress in there, and it comes out one of these vents. I don't know which one, but I think that means that the seal is okay. And if you see it coming back down right away, that means the spring's good. And it's going into that hole, so everything seems to be working right. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, and that will complete this carb rebuild. Now that part is going to be off camera. I'm going to do this side, but so that's it for this episode. In the next episode, hopefully we'll be putting this onto the bike, seeing if it runs or not. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Peace out.